Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 21st of May. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, what an amazing weekend. High five. Oh yeah.
It was a bit
a
bit crazy, wasn't it?
It was. 17 out of 19 viewers, 17 sales from 19 auctions, 90% clearance. Industry at 65%.
No, it was not, Philip. REA said 61.
Scale it down. Yeah,
no, I'm not going to scale it down.
Yeah.
REA reported 61, Domain 62. Check it out yourself. So 61 or 62%.
Okay.
We're 90%. Bose Music, Towers. Thank you very much.
So if we use your stats, then
not my stats.
We were 50% higher than the average.
That's about as high above the average as we've ever been.
Yeah.
So that's a big boast. That's a big boast time.
And viewers, as we have been alluding to in the last few weeks, the market is a bit more challenging than it was.
Yep.
So the good news for those of you that are thinking about selling, if you sign on with Gary Peer and Associates, you have a significantly higher chance of selling than with any other agency across Melbourne, as far as the stats say.
Yep.
And Gary, it was a big auction weekend. It's not like it was a light auction weekend.
No, 19's a busy weekend. We're running pretty hot. That was a great weekend. Well done to our buyers, sellers and agents, all who put in a great effort. That was really extraordinary. And I've got to say, we're here. Got to say, didn't quite expect it to be that good.
No,
I must say.
No.
So we'll
in
make
fact,
it all the more
if
joyous.
you've been a fly on the wall in our sales meeting last Monday.
Yes.
So in our sales meeting on Monday, can't tell you everything that goes on because that's the secret spices of Gary Peer, our intellectual property. But this I will share with you viewers as we read out all of the auctions that we have for the upcoming weekend. And we just get an indication of whether are they going to perform, are they not going to perform, are they going to have multiple bidders, are they going to pass in, what is our thought? If you'd been a fly on the wall last Monday, you probably would have felt like you'd had Mortein sprayed all over you because it was not looking good.
Looking pretty stinky, wasn't it?
90% clearance, Gary. Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And if you don't hear us talk about our clearance rate next weekend, it might not be quite as strong. But look, it was not. That's the facts on the ground. 90%. Industry as reported by REA, 61, 62, Domain. What a great weekend. Very exciting. And look, Phil, there was an article that I told you about just quickly off camera, talking about now selling airspace. In fact, the property in Hampton, they're talking about selling the rooftop area. Now, we've seen, for example, in Hotham Street, we have some spectacular apartments filled with rooftop gardens.
Yes.
But now people are talking about, and there was an article about, and I've been reading about, because I'm very well read, not just the form guide, but very well read, as you would know, Phil. There was now a whole movement in Melbourne and Sydney to use airspace above properties to save the housing crisis.
We'll come back to you viewers when Gary's actually done a bit more research and can actually explain it to me.
I'm sorry to expose your ignorance.
Off camera, it didn't make any sense. On camera, you're not making a great deal of sense. But there is a story in it. I would agree. There is a story in it.
Great story.
But I think you need to do a bit more research.
No, I've done my research.
Well, Gary, no one, including me, really gets it. What? So
don't be jealous because I'm a little bit more learned than you are.
I can be living in my house and then I just look up one day and go, you know what? I wouldn't mind I'm going to sell the air above my house.
Who owns the air above your house?
Somebody can just build something up there. Yeah?
Who owns the air above your house?
Well, that's the question that we're going to ask, and you're going to follow through on this when you've got a bit more.
I know the answer to that, Philip. You own the air above your house to forever, right? At the moment, you own the air above your house, but you could perhaps sell the space above your house.
Are you telling me I own the air above my house?
Yes.
Upscale.
Yes. You've got to start charging aeroplanes.
No. I'll tell you one thing, right? I'm on where I live. I kid you not.
Yeah.
I'm on a hot air balloon flight path.
Well, you start charging rent. Yeah.
And on a beautiful morning, kind of circa 6, 7 o'clock, you hear this whooshing sound, which is the sound of them.
That's not your wife in the bathroom, is it?
There's the sound of the gas being ignited to raise the balloon.
Yes.
But I kid you not, I am on a flight path of hot air balloons, which looks fabulous. But now I'm going to be going, hey, rent please, I want my money, right? Are you saying, because they're actually impinging my airspace.
Yeah, I think you should start protesting on your roof. I think
it's
you should
an outrage.
start saying,
I'm going to... I'm going to send them all invoices.
Right, they owe you a lot of money by now, Phil. Running it up historically.
Do you know? Speaking.
Have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
No,
have you ever been in one?
And I never would.
Would you?
Not in a million years. That has got to be. It's got to be one of the dumbest things you can do.
You know, you've got no sense of adventure.
Man,
or
I've got
fun.
a lot of
You're just
sense
a
of
boring
I've got a lot of
real
sense of
estate
adventure.
person. Yeah.
I've got a lot of sense of fun,
Yeah.
but I'm not really interested in being in a wicker basket. A wicker basket. That's what it is. It's a wicker basket with 5 or 6 other people with a gas flame. And have you noticed one thing about hot air balloons? And I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're a hot air balloon
operator or lover.
but
Yeah.
they're always crashing.
They don't. No, they
always
don't
crashing.
crash.
They're coming
They land
down
in funny
people,
spots.
They're coming down in people's front
I reckon
yards.
they do that for fun.
They're coming down on
Yeah.
the beach. I mean, that's a dumb thing to
And
do.
sadly, someone jumped out of one recently, which was not good at all. That's a very sad story, Phil.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, they're nice to see though in the morning. Don't you?
beautiful. Oh, they're
When you see in the
beautiful.
morning, they're just going over, they're gliding.
When they're coming
and they go
across,
whoosh, and
when
they-
they're coming across my house,
Yes.
unpaid,
Yep,
right?
yep.
I'm not particularly happy about it, but it
No.
does look beautiful.
Yeah, does look good.
So
Someone's knocking on our door, but
So-
they
so,
can wait.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Anyway, that's enough about hot air balloons, although, you know, there would be people watching this that love them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the sort of thing you do more than once. Would you? You just do
Anyway,
it one
can we
time.
move on? Let's talk about
Yeah.
real estate,
Yeah,
Gary.
you got enough hot-
You
you got enough hot air, you got enough hot air already,
It was all of
Mr.
that.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to the weekend that we just had to
Yeah.
remind everybody that we had a 90% clearance, 17 out of 19. But can we have a look at some of the properties that we sold? Because I did a number of auctions. Some of them
You did.
were incredibly competitive. Now, I'm going to talk about a property, Gary, in Inkerman Road, which is on the corner of Carnarvon Road, which
Yes.
you're going to glance down while
I
we've
know,
got
it's
the screen
Parkside,
up.
yeah.
And I believe the price is undisclosed.
You are correct, in fact.
Okay.
Yep.
But I want to say this, Gary. Anything that is along Inkerman,
Yep.
anything that is along Balaclava Road,
Yep.
anything that is along Park Crescent,
Anything that's a long story like
that is
this one.
along Hawthorne Road
Yeah.
that all overlooks the park,
Yes.
that's hot real estate.
Well, we
Because
had a
people
busy-
love Caulfield Park, and I can tell you this auction that we had 5 people bidding. When you went upstairs, you could look down and see the view of Caulfield Park. I knew it was going to be hot because I know people love love the
Inkerman.
Caulfield Park.
Yeah.
So we did, viewers, have 5 people bidding and achieved a really strong result. But a shout out to the people that bought it, because whilst it was competitive,
Yes.
they bought something that other people
Well,
wanted.
when you buy a property under competition, Phil, on one hand you think, gee, I might have overpaid, or I had to fight for that, or wasn't that tough, or what a premium, whatever, but you're getting something hot, aren't you? That's
Do you know,
the thing.
And I said this to the buyers.
Yes.
I said to them, because it was really a very intensive competition for their
Yes.
house. And afterwards, after, the kind of the emotion just swept out of them,
Yes.
I said to them, look, when you buy a property that is hotly contested,
Yes.
when you sell it, it will be hotly contested
Correct.
if you use Gary Peer and Associates.
And you got roughed up a little bit by one of the bidders there, perhaps the ultimate buyer. I like when Phil gets roughed up at the auction. I'm sorry I missed it, because I like, put in a few questions, push him around a little bit. It's good. It's good for you.
So it's interesting,
Yeah.
viewers, because it's actually interesting, because 9 times out of 10,
Yep.
when somebody asks a question at
Yes.
an auction,
Yeah.
right? Now, first of all, we don't ask for questions. In the good
No.
old days, we used to read the contract, say, any questions,
Yes.
right? Now we don't allow that silliness to happen,
Yeah.
right? Because 9 times out
And
of
then
10...
I'd go to auctions and I'd say, who's going to win the third at Flemington? and things like that. That
correct.
was Sid
And
really
that's
worked it.
silliness.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, when somebody asks a question at an auction, 9 times out of 10, it is designed to ask a question
Yes,
that
to
will
put off,
theoretically put off other buyers.
Yes.
So here's a message to you viewers. The question that you're probably going to ask, designed to put somebody off, will do 2 things. First of all, it will ignite the rage and the passion and the enthusiasm from the auctioneer, because you've now pressed the button.
You're on a
of,
mission now,
Okay,
yeah.
it's
We're on.
fight or flight.
And
right?
the auctioneer's the guy with the mic.
It's
Yeah.
fight or flight for the auctioneer. And let's be clear, the auctioneer ain't leaving.
No.
Which leaves what,
That's
Gary?
right. Which leaves what?
Well, if it's fight or flight,
Yeah.
and the auctioneer is not leaving,
It looks like it's fight.
It looks like it's fight.
I think that's the answer you look for.
So
yeah.
you've now stimulated
Yes.
the senses
Game
of the
on.
auctioneer.
Game on in a big way.
And also, buyers kind of know that question was designed to put them
Yes.
off.
And it's always interesting because the person that asks the question is always one of the keenest bidders, Philip.
Correct.
So question askers at auctions, I think maybe find out if it's a genuine question. Find out beforehand.
Yeah.
Look, you are at liberty to do so, Philip. It's a free country.
I
People
cannot
can do that.
remember
Yeah.
the last genuine question I was asked by somebody that genuinely didn't know the answer before they asked
Well,
the question.
the very popular question is, of course, is it on the market?
Oh,
And of
no,
course,
that
and that's a
question-
fair
that
and legitimate
question's
question,
fair
Phil. Fair
even,
question.
Even,
yeah.
even though
Yeah. You
we
would
talk
know,
about
yeah.
the auction catch-22, which is always, as I explain it, when somebody says, is the property on the market, Philip? And I say, no, the property's not yet on the market. If you bid for it, sir or madam or they, if you bid for it, then it will help me get the vendor to get the property on the market. So I say, it's the catch-22.
Yes.
You won't bid until the vendor puts it on the market, but the vendor can't put it on the market until you bid. So help us to help you.
And a less polite auctioneer would say, how the hell are we going to get on the market if you don't bid?
Yep.
You know, simple as that,
Yeah.
really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Phil, that is a popular question. Is it on
Yep.
the market? And the on the
Yeah.
market concept's an interesting one, actually, because like you say, people don't want to bid till it's on the market, but it's only when it's on the market that they will bid, but then we can't get on the market.
Do you feel the need to repeat exactly what
Well,
I've just
I think
said?
what you said was very complicated and convoluted. I'm just making it very simple.
No, I think I
Simple for simple people.
summed it up
Yeah.
absolutely fine, but thank you.
Are we on the market?
Thank you for being my echo.
That's fine. I'm happy to be your echo anytime, Phil. Let's talk about some of those results that were echoing our 90% clearance rate, because it was a
What
thumping
clearance
weekend.
rate was that?
It was 90%,
Okay,
Phil.
good.
It was a good one. I don't know how many times we'll be able to say that in future, because that's about as good as it gets,
No,
isn't it?
100% Gary is better than
We've had
90.
that, yes, you're right. And let's face it, they weren't the sort of percentage scores we ever achieved
No,
for
good point.
anything in school.
Let's move it on. What have
Powell
you, what,
Street,
what
you're,
you got for us?
you're at Powell Street
Powell
in South
Street,
Yarra.
South Yarra.
Yeah.
Do you know that was a lovely little story, because Monique Robin from our office was
Yep.
handling that property. She did a sterling job.
Yep.
But she identified, she said, look, Philip, we've got two buyers
Yep.
and some maybes, but these two buyers will perform, and those two buyers did perform.
Yep. And she was a little rockin' robin, wasn't she?
Yep.
At 10 a.m.
She was.
10:30.
So,
Yeah.
great little apartment though, and Powell Street, South Yarra. I mean, really, could you get a better spot? Walk out your front door, Toorak Road's on your doorstep.
10 a.m. auction.
Yep.
Good time, actually, isn't
So
it? There's a lot
I
going on.
reckon
Yeah.
we should start our auctions from 9:30.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Or, so we do a... Viewers,
AM
we,
or PM?
No, we do a 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30 when necessary, right? I reckon we should change, you know, because we're doing them on the half hour.
Yeah.
Why don't we move it back and do 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And how does that help us start at 9:30? You just contradict
No,
yourself.
I think probably 9:30 on balance is probably a little bit early, but 10
So you just
o'clock-
had that conversation with yourself. You said, let's start
Well-
at 9:30, and then you've just gone to now doing it on
No,
the hour,
but
and
if we
now
do it-
9:30 is too early. I have to work with...
Yeah.
You watch him once a week. I've got to work with him every day. Anyway, Powell Street,
What do you
well
reckon?
done.
What do you reckon, viewers? Do we start our auctions at 10?
Yeah. Do we like an early auction or a late
No,
auction? What's the
there's
preferred?
nothing wrong with that. There was a crowd there.
Yeah, fair enough. Good. There was a crowd there, and it sold very well, and it sold for $585,000, Philip, which is just a little above the range. So, congratulations, well done, Davey Avenue.
Yes.
Well, that was a one bid buy for that
Shout
bidder.
out to
Yeah.
Jan Dosen,
Yeah.
who did the most incredible job there. She was ably assisted by the rest of the Bentley team.
Yeah.
But we are so strong in that pocket of
Yep.
East Brighton, Gary, either side of Hawthorne Road.
Yep.
We're really strong, and I love those streets. So viewers, if you've got a house on those streets, call me, or actually call Jan Dosen. She's doing a great job.
Is there a place for men in real estate anymore? Because I'm starting to think it might not be, Philip, because
you know what?
I tell you what, I did the auction Marara, talking about Parkside.
Yes.
I did the auction Marara Road. Now, you were at Inkerman, opposite the park there. I was in Marara Road, opposite the park there. And I turned around, and lo and behold, there was Nikki Janover, there was Lamore Herskovitz, there was Chloe,
Yep.
and there was Jessica,
Yep.
and there was me.
Yep.
And it was like, Lamore said to me jokingly, which if I would have said it, I would have got in trouble.
Yep,
She
you
said
would have been
jokingly,
cancelled.
it's your harem. And
Yep.
I said, well, I didn't even know how to answer that. But it's the women in real estate are incredibly dynamic and successful, aren't they? And we've got so many wonderful ones with us.
Speaking of being cancelled, Gary,
Yeah.
if you're not following me on Instagram, we'll put it up now, Philip D. Kingston. Please follow me on
the D
Instagram.
because of the other Philip Kingston that's a
Yeah,
crook.
well,
Or is he?
don't say he's a crook. It's just we.
Well, hang on, you don't know which one I'm talking about. It
Okay,
could be one
correct,
that's in
I had to.
overseas, yeah.
Philip Kingston had been taken, so I'm Philip D. Kingston. Please follow me on Instagram.
Maybe the other Philip Kingston's feeling crook.
I had an open,
Not
for
well.
inspection at Allison Road on the weekend, number
Yes.
62 Allison Road. Beautiful, beautiful
That's a
property.
great house.
Incredible property. And some clients that I know well came through the property, and politely they did ask me, would you mind if our gorgeous little daughter lay on the couch, took her shoes off, lay on the couch and played on the iPad while they inspected the property. Good move, because brought the iPad so the children weren't running around like crazy, and secondly, they asked. So there she was, gorgeous little girl on the couch with her iPad, and I said, I'm just going to take a little photograph because it was gorgeous. And then I said to them, would you mind, can I have your permission to post this photograph to Instagram?
So it's a family friendly, not a creepy old real estate guy thing.
But I got the parents' permission. Now, in the good old days, you used to just take photos of anyone and put them anywhere. But now, you know, you can teach old dogs new tricks, can't you, Gary?
I'm not sure what your point is. You completely lost me somewhere there.
Oh, it's just a plug for Instagram. Philip D. Kingston. Follow me. There's prizes, there's
Philip
holidays.
The healthy one, not the one that's feeling a bit crook at the moment. Phil, let's talk about Blackwood. Blackwood, we hope he gets better, by the way, the other Philip Kingston. Philip, Blackwood Street, Carnegie.
Yes.
Now, well done to Leo Samuel. This home was on the market with another agent. And no disrespect to that, I'm sure they did their best, but it wasn't able to be sold. We put it back on the market in a range that we thought it would be, you know, sell and be popular. And lo and behold, Philip, sold for way, way more than reserve, expectation, and in fact, what it could have been bought for and was sell it before.
Is the price undisclosed?
No, it's not. The price is $3,750,000.
So new record price. We're going to have some confetti and something happening for new record price. New record price, maybe a beacon and a siren going off. New record price.
Whoa,
that'd be nice.
Some noisy sound effects.
But shout out to Christian de Vries from our Carnegie office.
He does well.
Leo Samuel was the auctioneer there. Multiple bidders. And just goes to show, if a property's been on the market for a long time, does not mean that it cannot be successful with a new strategy.
Phil, I don't know if Leo has sold too many properties around that $4 million mark, but he did a great job, so I understand.
I mean, let's be clear, Gary, if you have an office in that Carnegie Murrumbeena
area, start happening.
You're not going to have that many opportunities to have a sale at that price
Not
level.
yet, it's going to start.
It's I think he's opened the door to possible floodgates.
Well, as you would say, you know, 3 million's a new 2 million. And now we've sold already in Murrumbeena for 3.8. Carnegie for 375.
Yes.
Not unusual for one of us to jump down in Bentley and sell for $3
million. Not unusual to
sell
get
$3 million plus
prices
in Bentley. So we're doing a lot of that stuff now. So, you know, these areas, Philip, that were not known for anything starting with a 3 in it, unless it was hundreds of thousands, not millions,
all right,
they've changed.
Gary, I think we should talk about the weekend's auctions that are coming up, because this is dragging on.
To use a Pauline Hansonism, I won't be rushed, I won't be silenced. That's about the only time I'll live a quota. Phil, 2 Elizabeth Street, Elsternwick. I had the pleasure of going there, and I had the pleasure of talking shop with the vendor, because the vendor grew up in that house, and I grew up probably about 10 houses away.
Fascinating.
I used to deliver the paper there.
Fascinating.
Anyway, they had a cinema in that house. I don't know if I've got any images of it, but this cinema is a serious cinema. Would have taken on the Classic in Gordon Street. But that home was sold for the first time in many, many decades.
Bit of a shout out to the Classic Cinema. I met some people at Allison Road Open for inspection that were not overly familiar with the Elsternwick area, and I was just trying to orientate themselves, to, you know, telling them about the incredible Glen Huntly Road. And I said, you've been to the Classic Cinema? And they just looked at me blankly, like, no, what is the Classic Cinema? So, viewers, if you don't know what the Classic Cinema is, it's in Gordon Street, Elsternwick. It's one of Melbourne's best cinemas. It's an independent chain, and they do the most amazing job.
They did. I spooked it at the auction that I had in Victoria Street.
As you would.
Sorry, Parkside Street on the weekend.
As you would, Gary.
You know, because when I grew up, you know, just a few doors down from the Classic Cinema, Phil, you know, I'd go down there, they'd have one place, they'd have the organ at half time, right? That's how far back we go. One cinema, that was it, just one show, and you know, you went and paid your 10 cents or whatever it was for a ticket. But today, you know, you've got 7 screens and you've got all sorts of film festivals from all around the world. They do a great job. Incredible. Look, how good's Elsternwick? I know I'm getting off track, but do we love Elsternwick?
We love Elsternwick.
We have got the most beautiful selection of homes currently for sale and coming up at Elsternwick. Excellent, exceptional, exciting Elsternwick, Phil. We are doing great there. So if you want to buy or sell there,
drop the G's on a lot of the words. You doing, going. It's doing, going. All right, Gary, let's talk about the weekend's auctions, because we're running over time now.
No, if you want to buy or sell an Elsternwick, Phil, you've got to come and see us. So 2 Elizabeth Street, you cut me short, Phil, but it was sold in the range, which was 2.2 to 2.4. It's undisclosed, but we had a little bit of fun there. Phil, before we get into auctions this week, we talked about Elsternwick, how exciting it is, and you talked a little bit about Allison Road. But you sort of skipped over it. I want to just wind you back. Because this house at 62 Allison Road, is there a more exciting home that you've ever sort of been part of? I mean, that is an incredible home.
Gary, this is a beautiful home with a 2-street frontage. It's essentially a brand new home. When I say brand new, the owners have built it. They've only been there for a couple of years. It's got a 2-street frontage. The garage comes in from the street behind. It is the most magnificent home, built and designed by Sketch, who are a local design firm in Elsternwick. It is stunning in every possible way, and we've had a lot of interest from both families and empty nesters or downsizers or right sizers, because the main bedroom's on the ground floor. This has got absolutely everything that opens and shuts. Click on and have a look at it online, because the video is a beautiful video of why you should be buying this home.
Great wrap, Phil, and you'll look forward to seeing Phil at the opens, and looking forward to that auction coming up, Phil.
Absolutely.
Great home, and by the way, Ellison Road, I lived there for 13 years. What a great street. Let's move on, Phil. We've got 3 auctions on Saturday in Elsternwick, but before that, we have this incredible block of apartments, first time offered ever since built, Phil. 1 to 830 Katandra Road, Ormond, and that is a midweek auction.
Gary, 6 2-bedroom apartments, 2 3-bedroom apartments.
8 in total.
And it sits on 1,152 square metres of prime Katandra Road, Ormond land. You've got the station, you've got the shops, you've got everything on your doorstep. It's a ripper.
Let's jump into the weekend, Phil. You are a very busy man this weekend. I've got a flat-out Sunday. Let's talk a little bit about where we're starting up, because this will be interesting on Saturday morning. Let's
Gary,
talk about where you're going.
Clever champagne comedy today. Yep. I'm in Thistle Street in Brunswick. What a beautiful home. Magnolia, 402 square metres of land, a right of way at the rear, a beautiful home. And of course, Brunswick, north side, couldn't be hotter real estate.
Phil, I'm going to kick off at 11:30 a.m. I'm going to be in McKinnon Road, McKinnon. This is a block that we've had some success in and know well. Tell us a little bit about
Garrett,
it.
love this building, love this location, walking distance to shops and public transport. That's a fabulous 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment with basement car parking for 2 cars. Not a cent to spend, move straight in.
Jeremy Rosens is in John Street. He's not on the John, he's in John Street. 1 at 6 John Street in excellent
That
Elwood.
is a really good apartment, Gary. That is 3 bedrooms and a bathroom and a car space. Been beautifully renovated throughout, and John Street's a great location.
Leor Samuel has only got 1 auction, but gee, it's a beaut one, Phil, because it's in Butte Street, Murrumbeena at 12:30.
3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, plenty of land. So you've got a great opportunity to buy a massive parcel of land with a beautiful home.
Now, don't be also surprised, but any of these could be sold before auction, Phil, because we have been selling quite a bit.
They
before
can
auction.
be, Gary.
Phil, you're going to be making your way up from Brunswick after you meet up with the hipsters, have a bit of a late breakfast or early lunch, and you can get your way to Elsternwick, Philip, to Edward Street at 1:30
Gary,
p.m.
this is about as good as it gets in these streets, because I love these streets coming off Kooyong Road. This is 4 bedrooms and a study, 2.5 bathrooms, a double undercover carport, a north-facing back garden, big entertaining areas. There's so much to love about that property. That's a home you can move straight into and not spend a cent.
It is a ripper, Phil. We're looking forward to that one. And I tell you somewhere where you will not be, Phil, at 1:30 p.m, and that is in Knott Street in Port Melbourne, because Jeremy Rosens has auction honours.
He's meeting Daniel Michmacher there, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and what a great location.
Phil, your second of 3 auctions is also at Elsternwick, is in Ripon Grove, and this is a Ripon home, Phil.
Gary, this is a stunning home. 4 bedrooms and a study, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking for 2 cars, beautiful timber-decked areas. Everything about this home is quite magnificent.
You're bringing down the curtain on Saturday afternoon in Clarence Street, Elsternwick, for this magnificent-looking home, Philip, at 3:30 p.m.
Gary, this has got everything: 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, parking in front, beautiful undercover al fresco area. That is a stunning home.
We kick off on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Jeremy Rosens will start our day in Hotham Street, Ripponlea.
Gary, that is a beautiful apartment, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and a car space. I love that property.
I've got 5 auctions on Sunday, Phil, which is a lot of auctions for 1GP, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be doing them.
Good on you.
I'm going to be kicking off in Albion Street in Balaclava at 11:30.
You're going to meet John Sweepo
I am.
and Vanessa McGlynn, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and a car space, and what a charming, older style, beautiful apartment that's been renovated throughout.
At 12:30, I get to go to Glencoe Street, my very favourite street in Caulfield North. At 12:30, I'm meeting Daniel
Gary,
Peer there.
some of the neighbours there are fabulous, and then again, some of them aren't quite fabulous.
Maybe so.
3 Glencoe Street is a beautiful home. That is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, beautifully renovated throughout. That's a great opportunity to get into Caulfield's Golden Mile.
And all the neighbours there are fabulous, I can tell you that. Phil, Steel Street is where you're going to be. There's some good neighbours there. Tell us a little bit about this home.
Gary, that's a fabulous home. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, lots of land. I love Steel Street. I love all of those streets that come off Bamber Road.
A classic period facade, Phil, is just the start of this terrific property in this regarded location in Oron Crescent at 1:30.
Gary, that is a stunning home. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, undercover carport with 2 cars, north-facing back garden. That is a beautiful home. We've sold it before, and everybody that's lived there has loved it.
There's nothing grey about this street, Phil, except the address. This is a lovely position, Grey Street in Caulfield South. Tell us a bit about this home.
What a stunning statement of style. I'm reading the brochure, Gary. 4 bedrooms and a study, 3.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, everything that opens and shuts. That is magnificent.
We have double auction action at 2:30. Philip, you are going to be, I'm going to be in Inkerman Street, 8 at 3:10. This is the most massive apartment, one of the biggest I've ever seen.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces, great location in Inkerman, walk to Carlisle Street from there. That's fabulous.
You've got the honours of auctioning this terrific looking home, Philip, in Linden Street, Ripponlea. What a great address and what a great looking home.
It's beautiful. Everything about this property is beautiful. The address is beautiful, the suburb is beautiful, and the home is beautiful. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. A stunning home doesn't get any prettier than that.
I've got the auction honours. I'm meeting young Daniel Peer with Romy Skolnick and maybe Arlene at 3:30 p.m. in Balaclava Road.
Gary, opposite the park, doesn't get much better location than that. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, and a car space that is secure together with a storeroom. I love it.
Phil, you get to display your master of auctioneering in Masters Street at 3:30 p.m.
Gary, this is one of the most beautiful town residences. Ben Robertson of Texture Architects and Interior Design masterfully created this home. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, a north-facing garden. That is about as stunning as it gets.
Great looking home, Philip. Well, that's a big wrap on this week's GPTV. There's still plenty happening in May. It's not the busiest May we've ever had, but it's a good May in terms of quality stock because there are some beautiful homes out there that people have got a nice choice of. So we are looking forward to bringing those to the market and bringing them home with some soul stickers over this weekend upcoming. That's a big wrap on this week's GPTV. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Thanks for watching.